What's up? What's up? Um, it's Saturday today. I think the last time I recorded was on Sunday, and then I ended up uploading it on Monday because I don't know. It seemed weird to upload it so late. But anyways, it's Saturday. Lots of stuff happened. I guess not really like honestly not really that much happened, but also like some stuff happened. Okay, so basically Monday, uh, Monday just went to classes, did whatever. She ended up getting sick. She's still kind of sick now, I think, but whatever. She's sick. She was sick, and then was like, "Oh, can you DoorDash me soup?" Not like DoorDash. She was just like, "If I give you money, can you run to the store and or the restaurant and get me soup?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, like sure." Um, and then we just kind of what happened? Yeah, I got her the soup, and then I dropped it off at her place. We said hi for like 2 seconds, and then that was it. And I thought, maybe something would have come out of it. Nothing came out of it. But then after, I was walking back, and she was like, "Oh, do you wanna like we shop on call and uh, you know, just I'll watch you play while I eat." Like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, still getting some of her time, I guess. But then you think a little bit. At this point, I had paid for dinner the previous day. I paid for like boba and stuff before, and I've given her my board. She has my hoodie, guys, my Fox Academy hoodie that I was talking about in the relationships video. She has it now. She has it now. But guys, that's like my favorite hoodie. And we're updates. We got some updates. Whoops. But yeah. So hold on. Okay. Yeah. So she has my hoodie. She has my like better board. Paid for dinner. Like I'm doing all these things for her, right? Brought her the soup, and we're not in a relationship, and so it's like okay, the alarm bells are going off a little bit, right? Like, are we just getting taken advantage of? And probably, probably. But it's like an exchange of my time and money and whatever else for time with her and stuff, right? Like, sure, but that's not, I don't like feeling that. I would like it to be an equal exchange. Not equal, like I'm fine giving more, right? But just like, I don't know. There's a balance to it all, and there's a lot of taken happening, and not especially this week, not a whole lot of interaction happening. I want to talk about this too. Um, where I was like watching the video back, and I was like, I also was thinking about this. Uh, I felt like last week was so good, right? And I felt like it was because she wanted to see me for me, right? For my just for our connection and just hanging out and all that stuff, right? Like for the person, uh, rather than it being like some material thing. Uh, but then like towards the end of it, I guess a little bit was it felt more material and stuff. Maybe I'm tripping, and I don't know. Maybe I am tripping, but it did feel less. I want the connection to be for me and not just not just like what I bring to the table, right? Like of course I want to bring stuff to the table, but I don't want it to be all that she's seeing me for, right? That's it. That's the thought. Uh we're texting less frequently. Uh yeah, so that was Monday anyways. Starting, the alarm bells are going off a little bit. Tuesday, actually I ended up talking to my dad about it. I called my parents. Uh and then he was saying like the same things, right? Like, yeah, it's you have good instincts, right? You're it's good of you to be aware of that and notice and be like, something's up. Like, so I'm fine pumping the brakes. I'm fine uh not being the doormat, getting taken advantage of, getting stepped on, getting being the one always giving, right? Like I think I am a very giving person. When people ask me to do stuff, I do it for them, right? So Tuesday I get to talk to him and then kind of reconfigure all these thoughts in my brain, and he validates my thoughts, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page. Thank you for talking. You know what? Shout out my dad. Awesome, great. Wednesday I start freaking out because I have two tests on Thursday. So the two Thursday tests are like horrible. Like I hadn't studied for them at all. I had been showing up to classes, but it's just so hard. Like I would show up to classes, not really understand it fully, and then not try to understand it until the day before the test, I guess. But I had two tests back to back. So all of Wednesday I was like, okay, locked in. I woke up at like 4 or something, and then was just like 4 a.m. and just boom the whole time working on stuff. Went to classes still. I still went to my classes, even though I was considering not, and just like purely focusing on studying. But I think it was still good. It was good that I got to go so that I could get outside and like, have some human interaction, right? And then so actually what was funny was it was already late. It was maybe like 9. And then she texts, she's like, "Oh, I want spaghetti." Or it was like 8 or something, right? And I was like, "Oh, I want spaghetti." And I was like, "Well, I have stuff to make spaghetti." And she was just really pushing, like, "Oh, we should hang out," like basically, right? Like, "Oh, I want to come over and let's cook and stuff." I was like, "Yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm not really sure because I have this test, bro. I have to focus on this." And she was like I'm being really bad influence, but like, oh, come on, right? And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I have all this stuff to make spaghetti. It'll be fast. It'll be fast. It's not like she's gonna spend that much time here, right? So whatever. But the funny thing is that I was just kind of like, I don't know. Like, I was still on the fence, and then I was like, I guess I have everything. And then she was like, okay, cool. I'll leave in like 10 minutes. I was like, all right, you know what? Sure, whatever. Okay. So she ends up coming over, and then we make spaghetti. It's pretty fast, pretty easy. It turns out pretty good. I still have some leftovers. I'll probably eat that for dinner tonight, actually. But then, she ends up laying down on my bed, and I'm like explaining to her all of the like what I've been studying and all this like lambda calculus and pointers and whole situation, guys. The test was hard. The test was hard. But yeah, but she ends up I play some games. She watches, we just talk. Uh and then she ends up falling asleep, and then she ends up staying to like 3 or something before eventually heading back. 3 or 4. And then so I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm just gonna go to sleep. So I was like super tired because I had woken up at 4 a.m. that day, and then she ended up staying until like 3. So I don't know. Did I lose the? I was talking earlier about how I didn't want to be a doormat or whatever, but then here we are. Like, well, I just kind of let her stay like as long as she wanted, and then left, and then. But I was still studying while she was there, right? Like I was explaining it to her, which I think helped, and then when she fell asleep, I kept studying. So I think it was okay. Like I still got the stuff that I wanted to do done. It just I would have liked to have gone to sleep earlier, so then I could have could have woken up the next day and kept studying. But didn't end up happening, and I woke up the next day maybe like 2 hours before my test. So I got another little bit in there. Uh, but yeah, she was like pushing, right? Like so there's the thing. Like we hadn't been texting as frequently before before that. At least nowhere near the amount that we did last week, just because it was like, I don't know what the heck last week was, but it was just like she was always pushing, oh, let's hang out, or like double text me if I didn't respond in like 20 minutes or something about something else. And it was like, like she was just so like really pushing. And then like this week kind of backed off a little bit, but then still like really pushed to come and see me on Wednesday, even though I probably shouldn't have, but it was fine. I still had fun, and I'm glad that it happened. But, didn't do anything. Fell asleep. I held her hand while she was asleep. I don't know. Is that whatever? Who cares? Um, and then tests on Thursday. So I wake up, study a little bit more. First test, lambda calculus pointers, like some semantics CSE class, right? So entered the Mind Palace for that one. Low key, I don't know how to feel about it. I haven't really had the chance to. I'm scared, to be honest. I'm scared to look at all my answers and stuff and compare with like previous exams and like the logic behind that, because uh I don't know. What if I did bad, right? Like I'll just let the grade speak for itself. And I really couldn't have thought about it right after the test because I had to go to the next test. I had the next test in like the next 2 hours that I hadn't studied for at all. I had put all of my effort into studying for the first one. I hadn't studied for the second one at all. And then so, I had to really, it was the most insane cram of my life. Luckily I got my friend's cheat sheet, and I don't think it went that bad. I don't think it went that bad. I guess we'll get the answers soon. So, you know what? Survived on Thursday. And then didn't really like texted her a little bit more, but not really. Uh, she was kind of doing her own thing, whatever. Friday, what happened on Friday? I went to the baseball game. I went to baseball game. It was Diamondbacks versus Brewers. Uh, Diamondbacks got destroyed. I think it was like 7-0 or something. So that wasn't that. It was a kind of a sleeper game, but there were fireworks, and I went with one of my friends, and that was good. It was good to go to that because the whole time I was just something else to do, not stuck on her, and could just kind of do my own thing, right? Have fun with my friend, see the fireworks. She didn't end up texting me like the whole time, right? So it was fine. Uh, I wouldn't have texted her anyways. Had to play like the mind games, just like having my own thing going on without it being her and without needing her attention to feel validated, right? And so yeah, the game was good. Wasn't that good, but the fireworks were good. I had a good time. I had a good time. Then we got Canes after, and then knocked out my homework, and now it's Saturday. Now we're already at today, and we're only 12 minutes in, which is great. Because Saturday, I mean today, I literally did nothing. I laid down in bed. Uh, I took like 2 naps. Played Valorant with the same guy that went to the baseball game with though, so did something. It's been really hot. But yeah, again, not really texting her too much. Not really that much happening, right? Like, what the heck, man? It was going so well last week. Last week was literally, we had hung out every single day. Her texting, her being the one engaging. And now it's like pulling back a little bit, right? Or at least she is. And I think it's partially because so much of her what do you call it, or like our interactions were on her terms, right? Like, oh, she's the one texting, she's the one suggesting to hang out, she's the one, always the one pushing to do stuff, and then I'm not, I wasn't really, because I felt like every time that I had she would end up being like, oh no, I got something else, or I have to be alone right now, and maybe it's because she's sick. And okay, I don't know if this is like messed up to say, but like her, the cycles and stuff are, it kind of tracks. If last week was really good, and then this week not as good, and it, maybe I'm just coming up with excuses, and I am no expert on this at all, right? So I'll just leave it at that. It could be a million different things, right? It could be so many different things. Basically, is my point. And so, um, I don't think I should. I've been in the ringer enough times to know to not expect, right? To not put pressure, to not be like, oh, what are we, like, what's happening, right? Like, it always ends up pushing people away, and it happens again and again and again and again. And I've learned at this point, so it's okay, it's all right. Uh, Funny thing, when she was like, I guess, I don't know. Uh, Last week when we were drinking together, she was like, sorry, like after we, after tonight, after we sober up, like I'm gonna go back to normal. And then I guess I honestly don't remember, but she said I got pretty sad, and it was like, I was thinking about it more, and I was like, yeah, I guess so. I guess it would be sad because after she said, oh, I'm gonna go back to normal, not really looking for anything, I kind of, I again read the future, right? It's like, okay, I already know that, after you say something like that, it's just, we're gonna end up drifting, and it's not gonna be, like, go back to something like this, right? And you know what? Fast forward 1 week, and here we are, drifting a little bit. It's not really, the energy's completely different, right? Like, it's pattern recognition, bro. It's just like being in this situation so many times that it's just a familiar. It's familiar. It's familiar, and it's the same thing every single time. And so, I was talking to my dad about it more on Tuesday, and it's like, yeah, this keeps continuing to happen to you, right? And it's like, yeah, this keeps happening to me, and it's like, is everyone just insane? Like, I mean, kind of yes. I mean, the answer, kind of yes. No one is looking for anything serious right now, right? Like, we're I don't know. I've said this 1,000 times at this point, but I'm 20 years old. Like, she's 21. Like, no one's looking to settle down right now, right? We're trying to figure ourselves out. So it's like, I think it's just, I can't be, despite however how badly I want to be the green flag, right? To be the one that's like, oh, the stable pillar of I'm here for you. I will drop everything for you, right? You don't do that in a talking stage, because then, oh, boring. Okay, predictable. I have this guy. I don't have to put in any more effort. I already have him, right? Like, right? Like, boring. It's not interesting. And then, so, me doing all these like relationshipy, like, boyfriend stuff for her, like, oh, hoodie, swap to here, you can have my more comfortable skateboard, I'll take your less comfortable one, or I'll get you soup when you're not feeling well, right? Like, all these things, right? It's just like, it pay for dinner, $100 dinner, guys. Like, there goes $100. I mean, it was good. It was good, and I don't regret doing it. But I'm just saying, all these things are like, it's showing my investment in it. Like, it's showing that I am invested in her, and that my time and energy and money and all this stuff is going into her without any need of commitment from her end, right? Like, oh, it can just fall apart in a week. Might be happening now, might not be, who knows? But it's definitely been more distant, right? So it's just like the commitment thing. It's like, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. There's nothing tying me to her, I guess, right? Nothing tying her to me, right? Other than emotions, and those are fickle, right? Those change so frequently and often, and it's not a good base connection, like, but it just kind of sucks because now she actually has my physical stuff that has sentimental value to like me, right? So I'm a little stuck in it, right? I'm a little. She's got collateral. She's been around the block. In these situations even more than I have apparently. So she's got me there. But expect nothing, appreciate everything, right? So I hope I get my stuff back if it falls apart. But who knows? Maybe it won't, and then it'll still be fine. And I'm being over like preemptively, sad, right? Like we literally hung out on Wednesday, and she like slept over, right? So I don't know, bro. I don't know. Um, but yeah. Oh, I was thinking like, see if I had other people that I was also engaged with and talking to and considering, right? Then it wouldn't be like such a an issue, right? I would have less I wouldn't like dive headfirst into something so fast, right? Because if I have multiple people, then it's like, okay, well now I actually have my time is a resource and it has to be, I have to choose how to spend it. And before, if it's just one person, then I don't really I can all the time can go into that one person, and there's no uh like nothing really has to be done on their end, right? It can just be like, oh, it's fun, and who cares? And it's fickle, right? Uh like they don't have to do anything to get my attention. I will just always give it to them, right? But then as soon as my attention is split and becomes more value, or it gets split, right? And my attention gets split and then it becomes more valuable because then it's a coveted, it's a resource. It's something that I can't always just give out, right? I can't just give it out willy-nilly. It actually it matters. It um they have to invest in me in order to get my time, right? And that just it's healthy. It's not toxic to be talking to multiple people. It's normal and it's healthy because then they feel like okay, they work for my time, they work for my attention, and then the attention is like, oh okay, it means more, right? At the end of the day it would mean more. It's like doing something easy is less rewarding than doing something hard, right? It just makes sense. And then so I think it would lead to better connection, at the end of the day. So it's so interesting, right? It's like I want to be the green flag and be like, oh, be the stable, like, yes, I will do this for you. Yes, I will be there for you all the time. But that comes later. That comes later, and I think I I'm understanding it, and I understand the solution, and so it just I have to. We're learning, right? 20 years old. We're getting through this. It's all part of the process, right? I think by going through all of this, I will end up happier in the long run. It will pay off, right? So I hope so. I really do hope so. Uh, yeah, just kind of another weekly anecdote thing. I kind of want to record more stuff. Like I have, still have my notes. I have them like separated. I don't have them separated. I just have like a bunch of ideas, but I have ideas that fit in the same categories of things, right? So maybe if I could like the relationships video. That was pretty good. I thought it was shorter, more concise. My thoughts were organized, and it was one topic throughout the whole video rather than just me talking about the week and then dying over whatever issues that come up throughout it, right? But anyways, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and hopefully expect another one soon. Yeah, I'll see you later.